Hi, and welcome to Enchantment of Eternity's review for Vikings Season 4, Episode 5, Promised. This video is a part of a series of videos where I review episodes of Vikings. I don't look at Vikings from a historic perspective, I'm just a guy watching a scripted, narrative-based TV show and telling you what I think about it. So I have to give a spoiler warning for Vikings up to Season 4, Episode 5. If you haven't seen up to this episode, you may not want to watch this video, otherwise some things may be spoiled for you. So, this episode overall was pretty good. It furthered the intrigue that's been going on in Season 4, and it looks like things are starting to shape up. So, I'll start in Paris, where we have a storyline with Rollo enjoying his new wife. The fact that they're so close now, and she calls him my love, is still a bit hard to get used to. It happened so sudden last week, and so unrealistically fast, so it's a bit hard to get used to, as is the fact that Rollo is so devoted to defending Paris now, but whatever. His wife talks about killing Count Odo so he can rise in position, and he said it's cowardly to stab someone in the back. Then we get the scene of that one dude who was scheming with his sister in order to get more information out of Count Odo finally make a move against him when he goes to the Emperor and finally tells him what he knows. The Emperor is funny, a little guy, isn't he? He acts kind of like a child or insane or both. He seems incapable of handling such a thing and of being a ruler for that matter. I wonder what this dude's endgame is. Is it just to get rid of Odo, or is it to get rid of the Emperor as well? I think I remember him saying he wants to get rid of Rollo too. I don't know. So we'll see where they take this. It will be yet another challenge for Rollo to overcome. So next, let's go to England, where King Ekbark decides definitively that they will invade Mercia with the goal of putting Queen Quentrith back as the ruler of that realm. The King of Northumbria seems to go along with this after protesting so heavily last week. Maybe he realized that King Ekbark isn't a man to be crossed. It's interesting how warmly he farewells him. He's like, oh, you're the best ally I've ever had, which is kind of a way of manipulating him, acting all friendly because he's going along with his plans to invade. I think he knows that if he didn't, his attitude would be quite different. I also like how Queen Quentrith called out Ekbark for being untrustworthy, saying, oh, you're just like me. That was great. So then we get the more personal scene with Judith and Aethelwulf, where Aethelwulf lets her know he knows about her and his father, and in turn she lets him know she knows about him and Queen Quentrith, and she flat out tells him that they're man and wife in name only. It's quite an interesting look into arranged marriages because royals in this time period, and they had to do it more for political alliances than for love. So Judith goes to Ekbark and lets him know what happened, and he responds by giving her his deceased wife's ring. I almost thought he was proposing to her, but I think they need to keep up appearances, and she'll stay married to Aethelwulf in order to maintain the truth with Northumbria, but in actuality they have no intention of honoring those vows. Makes me wonder if this is going to create some tension between Aethelwulf and Ekbark, but we'll just have to see. So we get the other scene where Ekbark is confessing his sins, and moreover his intention to continue sinning in order to acquire more power, and he's okay with the fact that it means he'll be going to hell. Now I don't think that he's just referring to his affair with Judith, although that might be part of it. I think he has something darker planned for the future that we may find out in the coming episodes, but we'll just have to see. So back in Norway, we have the storyline of the visiting king, whom we know plans to overthrow Ragnar, and Bjorn is rightfully very distrustful of him. He tries to win over Bjorn, but to no avail. However, when he meets Floki, he is very receptive to him. I like how Floki just told him outright the reason Ragnar and him had a falling out was because he killed his pet Christian. And of course, this king guy expressed a strong desire to kill Christians, saying he hates them, so I suspect him and Floki will become fast friends. And we also continue the storyline with Ragnar and his new love interest, and it did get slightly more interesting in this episode when he finds out she is the daughter of the Emperor of China. I'm not sure if anything will come of it, but I think it does kind of change the power dynamic between the two of them. And through some bit too long erotic scenes, we see that she completely trusts him with her life. So I'm actually genuinely interested in where they're going to take this storyline, because I don't know. But we'll just have to see. Anyway, it's interesting that Ragnar confessed to her that he knew that the settlement of Vikings that they left in England were slaughtered, but no one else knows. I had no idea that he knew. I'm still not sure how he knows, but he does. And no one else, apparently. So it seems to me, if they found out, they might want to go to England instead of Paris to seek revenge. But as much as I'd like to see them return to England, I think they might be going to Paris instead this season, but we'll just have to see. So I also get an answer as to what Bjorn was up to, as apparently he had no idea who that ring belonged to, and thus didn't know who sent the berserker to kill him, and him going to Lagerth's town to steal away his new wife was completely unrelated. He simply desired her, and after having his spiritual quest decided to pursue her. But of course now he does know, because she recognized the ring as belonging to King Horg's son, so surely some shit's gonna go down now. And we also get this pretty wild scene where Floki tries to get Ivar to play with the other children, who of course bully him because he's handicapped. So Ivar deals with the schoolyard bullying by taking a hatchet and burying it in a kid's skull. Man, you gotta love this show. Anyway, I sense some real foreshadowing going down here. So finally I'll get to Lagertha and Kalf. As we start the episode, they seem all in love. She tells him that she's with child, and he asks her to marry him. She says yes, and they're all in love. And fast forward to their wedding day, she's all dressed up beautifully. There's tons of flowers, children playing, merriment. And then Kalf goes to visit her, and they kiss, and they're all in love. Everything's romantic. And then she fucking stabs him and kills him. I was literally like, what the fuck? I honestly did not see that coming. That completely shocked me. And she did kiss him while he died, so I do think in a way she does care about him, but felt he needed to die. Now, as to why exactly she felt this way, I'm not entirely sure. It probably hampers back to him stealing her earldom in the first place, as the first thing she does after killing him is to announce herself as Earl, while protected by a huge band of female warriors that she has been training. And everyone else seems to be completely okay with the fact that she just killed her husband on their wedding day. Everyone except for, of course, King Horg's son. I wonder if she knew Kalf was conspiring to have Bjorn killed. It would make her killing him make a lot more sense, but there's nothing in the show to indicate that she knows, so I have to assume that she doesn't. But she might suspect something is up because she sees him talking to King Horg's son at the start of the episode, and I think she can reason that they're up to no good. Maybe she suspects they would move against her, which is why she killed him. I'm not sure, but regardless, Kalf is dead. And it's funny, I was just thinking halfway through the episode about how Kalf is becoming a main important character now, and I have to get used to him being like a major character, and then he gets stabbed to death by the end of the episode. Just brutal, simply brutal. So my rating for Promised out of 10 is an 8, extremely good. The Game of Thrones style wedding at the end was quite shocking, very nicely pulled off. I did not see that coming at all. And other than that, I still find the scenes with Ragnar and his new mistress mostly boring, but I think it's starting to become more interesting and could lead to something good. And we get a lot of great political intrigue with the visiting king, with Bjorn, and in Paris, and in England. So overall, a pretty solid episode. So that's it for my review of Promise. Be sure to check out back here every week as I review episodes of Viking, and make sure to check out my channel for many other videos I do on shows like Game of Thrones, Star Trek, The Walking Dead, Better Call Saul, and more. And be sure to subscribe so you can keep up with all of that. And thanks a lot for watching.